Alright gentlemen, this is a video that quite a lot of you have requested, and yes, as fellow men, money is extremely important for us as it signifies our ability and resourcefulness to provide. Now before I start though, I would like to say that this is not a financial advice. I'm far from a financial expert because I'm not a walking multi-millionaire or billionaire. And although I have a banking and finance background in my previous employment and also back in university, I only took the job because I was pretty good at mental math, and I only took the course because I wanted to party with hot girls. Because as we all know, business school or business degrees in university are all just cool excuses to tell our parents for us to secretly party hard and get drunk. But anyways, this video is going to be my personal take on developing financial literacy and responsibility in your 20s based on my own set of past experiences and current perspectives. So when it comes to money or wealth in your 20s, all the focus should be put on maximizing your cash flow and building sustainable and scalable business entities that will both enhance or amplify your credibility and reputation as time passes. Now I know some of you may be impatient to know about my take on investments, real estate and cryptos, but bear with me here because this first thing here is without question the most important when it comes to building a strong financial foundation and accumulating wealth in your 20s. That is why you have to know and understand this first. Maximizing your income or cash flow from your primary entity should be your utmost priority. That is why this video is titled Cash is King. Build a personal brand or business that showcases your credibility and proficiency to deliver highly valuable products or services in any field of your choice, as this will significantly assist you to establish that strong initial foundation and exposure that you desperately need in the beginning, and today it has never been easy with the power of social media and online shops. This is where having a sales background would really boost you tremendously. Your main goal here is to get as much exposure and deliver so much value and care to your customers to the point where they would not hesitate or think twice to part themselves with their hard-earned money in exchange for the value you're giving them, and also make them become significantly enamored by your products or services to the point where they will come for repeat purchases and spread their positive reviews through word of mouth and social platforms, which will inevitably increases your exposure, customer base, and eventually market share. This is also where focusing on developing a single, good quality product or service, not a barrage of average products or services, is absolutely critical in establishing your reputation in the market. If your product or service is that good, almost any form of publicity is good for business. Don't worry about money if your product or service is shit, because it will never come. Remember, the higher the value you can deliver, the more effortless the price becomes to pay for it. In terms of working 9 to 5, personally, I would rather die than go back to living a corporate lifestyle, because no matter how high you go up the corporate ladder and how much you earn, let's say 30 grand a month, you are still contractually and obligatorily bound to the corporation. You won't have a lot of time to enjoy the fruits of your labor or do all the things you want to try out, and as we all know, time is our biggest asset and our most valuable commodity. Like if you want to go on a long holiday with your family and friends, one call from the boss to get your ass back to the office and you have no choice but to oblige, otherwise you'll risk diminishing your reputation or even losing your job. Plus the fact that corporate politics play a huge role in most 9 to 5s. If you're not a proficient ass-licker and cocksucker, your employment status pretty much hangs in the balance of the boss's own personal appreciation of your efforts and their internal conflicts generated by their own or the collective disapproval of you. But of course, I'm biased here because my experiences in corporations have always been significantly negative more than positive. But in all honesty though, not all corporations are like this. If you are currently struggling to make ends meet and 9 to 5 is your only option to pay the bills for the time being, then by all means it's the right thing to do, and what I would also do if I was in that situation. But of course, do that while also slowly building your brand on the side, outside of work. But if you do love your corporate job and they treat you well while also make your career very scalable, then fair play to you, mate. I'm never an advocate of saving money, as I'm sure most of you gentlemen also are, because for many years I've tried that and it doesn't get me anywhere. It only devalues my money as inflation kept on rising through the years by not putting them to work for me. Putting them in banks and deposits only protect them from inflation and are combating against inflation, and it only looks nice on your bank account when you check the balance on your phone. But after that, it's not much. That is why in your 20s you should absolutely prioritize and not be afraid to invest significantly into yourself in terms of skills, knowledge, and experience. And for those who are wondering endlessly about how to start building value for yourself within your chosen field or craft, this is it. If you are confused about how to start a strong foundational brand or business, you have to first build value through cultivating your proficiency in your craft. And today, as we all know, information is everywhere. You can literally find mentors online and learn from them. Go on an apprenticeship period with those mentors and learn as much as you can from them. Vividly absorb their knowledge, experience, and practice like a kid mimicking his parents before you want to put your own creative and objective twist in your brand. So don't be afraid to spend a significant amount of money investing in yourself, because they cannot be taken away from you, as those skills and knowledge you accumulate over time will be deeply embedded within your mentality, instincts, and muscle memories. The only way those investments will go to waste is if you invest in the wrong mentor or you put yourself out of practice for long periods of time. Honestly, from my point of view, investing in yourself is much cheaper and way more worth it than taking out a massive student loan to go to college or university, because college and university teach you what they think they want you to know without taking into account your individual specific needs and precious time. Now, in terms of investments and passive income, when it comes to most of us in our 20s, we're like desperate and hungry lions, but at the same time, lazy and irresponsible bastards. We want gargantuan amount of money fast to snatch and flex because we're just too lazy to put in any work. That is why we jump onto the bandwagon of stocks and cryptos. Now, my own experience on stocks have been overall positive, but I wouldn't say the same on crypto because of their extreme volatility. I mean, I lost 20 grand on crypto due to its crash back in May, and it's all because of my childish greed to achieve a double on my initial capital. I was like, little bit more, little bit further, baby. And before I knew it, I already lost 7 grand in a matter of hours. All in all, though, I would not recommend you gentlemen investing a large portion of your net worth into stocks and cryptos. If you want to invest in them, just make sure it's a portion of your money that are sitting ducks, and most importantly, that you are prepared to lose in case of a major crash happening. But of course, if you profoundly understand how they work, unlike me, and you can capitalize on the opportunity for massive gains fast without succumbing to your own greed, then fair enough, take more risks if you want to. If you want the safest bet on your money, index funds are your best option in my case. Now, in terms of real estate, young men get overly excited about this, but as we all know, house prices are rocketing at the moment and forming a massive real estate bubble. So if you invest in real estate now, assuming you have the money, probably in 2 to 3 years' time, the bubble will explode and house prices will come crashing down. So all your hopes of appreciation in value on your initial investment will be down in the water in a short period of time. Everyone fantasizes about the passive income real estate can generate, and yes, it's very appealing. However, when you're young or if you're not born in a family of generational wealth at their disposal, most likely you won't have a lot of dough or $500,000 comfortably just sitting in the bank. And if you want to invest in real estate, most likely you're going to be investing about 80 to 90% of your wealth in one real estate property and not 10, because you're not a millionaire yet, obviously. The biggest problem about passive income of real estate is the abysmally long amount of time it will take to eventually break even if you do decide to rent it out. Like an average 2-bedroom house costs around $400,000, and assuming you rent it around $3,000 a month, it will take you more than 10 years to eventually break even, mate. And if your cash flow is appalling, chances are you'll most likely be forced to sell the property rather early to cover up your lack in cash. Real estate only works if your overall cash flows are already in check, and when you can purchase multiples of them without worrying about breaking even, as the matter of breaking even will be taken care of by your main income sources. That is why, again, like I said before, the best investments to make in your 20s is building a strong foundational brand or business to solidify and stabilize your income. Like if you earn 20 grand a month after tax from your business plus a 3 grand rent on the property you bought, breaking even will be done in less than 2 years, mate. Depending on your personal expenses, it might take 2 years at most. So when you're young and still not having much dough coming in every month, forget about real estate investments. Just rent out a place that can keep you warm and sheltered for the time being, because as men, we don't need a lot of small and unnecessary things around us to satiate us. We can comfortably rent a small studio apartment and be completely fine whilst we build the foundation of our income sources. So that's pretty much my personal take on finance, gentlemen. Not as in-depth as you probably would have wanted, but as I said, I'm no expert. But I would love to know your own takes on this matter as well in the comments down below. So feel free to share your knowledge and experiences, because after all, we're all trying to help one another at the end of the day. Thank you for watching.